Hello everyone, we have a very special guest with us today, a top 30 player. He's made ATP tournament finals in Munich and in Adelaide, reached a couple doubles finals as well in Atlanta and Stockholm. He's coached with the Netherlands Davis Cup team. He's beaten the GOAT, Novak Djokovic. He's undefeated against Stanislas Wawrinka. He's beaten 3 world number ones in his career. And he took Zizou Bergs to the top 50 of the world, helped him reach his first ATP final. And he also took Tallon Griekspoor to the top of the game, top 21. And now he's looking for a new challenge. Welcome everyone to the pod, Kristof Vliegen.
Amazing. Pleasure. Thank you so much. But also, I think can we just clarify? Can you pronounce your last name correctly? Because we're probably butchering it.
Doesn't matter. It's Vliegen, but it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It's all good.
I completely butchered it.
Doesn't matter. But you were excited. You were pretty excited, I have to say.
I was very excited. I was so excited, Kristof.
It doesn't matter. Keep on going. It's good. You guys live the game. It's great.
Okay.
Awesome. Well, Kristof, we're so happy to have you with us. And we think the best way to start this off is, can you tell us, do you enjoy more being a player or now being a coach?
I think if I could, I would still be playing. That's for sure. Yeah, that's for sure. No, yeah, because I think I started the game when I was young and everything because I like the game. But I think at some point you need to accept that the age or the body doesn't want to do it anymore. And I like now to give my knowledge what I have for a few years that I made myself on the tour. I try to give my knowledge to people that want my knowledge, and we take it from there. So yeah, but if I have to choose between playing or coaching, I would love to play again.
The glory of playing, it's hard to beat. It's hard.
Well, you were also a beast as well. You're a beast, so it's makes sense.
Yeah, but I would love to go back playing now, but with the mindset that I have today, not with the mindset that I had 20 years ago or 50 years ago. That would have helped me also. That would have helped me a lot. But I guess everybody's in the same position as me.
Yeah. Well, we're actually we have this exact question to ask you in a couple moments. So please hold that thought.
Okay, good. Good.
Yeah, but before we move into that, we just Kristof, if you can just talk to us a bit about in the early days of when you were growing up and becoming a tennis pro. When did it become your dream?
Oh, it became my dream when I was 6 years old. It's easy.
Oh, wow.
Really?
Well, yeah. It was like
that young.
Yeah, I was in a class with kids, at school, and there was only one racket there somewhere with one ball, and I took it. And I was hitting it to the wall, and I started from there. And it's going that far back. Okay, now these days we cannot do it anymore. But when I was like 6 years old, so we're going back 37 years, almost. The teacher took me back to her house on the Wednesday afternoons because it was the half-day school. And Wednesday afternoon, I went to play with her 1 hour on the tennis court. I started to play tennis with a normal teacher at school, nothing to do with tennis. And I got the virus, the positive virus, let's say. But I got it and I started playing almost every day. Whenever I had a minute, my parents they talk about it so many times, and I can see that my little son now he's 6. And he starts to like it. So I'm actually hoping that he's getting the same virus that I have, the vibe that I have with it. But I cannot push him. But yeah, I was playing it almost every day when I was 6 years old. It started, yeah. And there was nothing else in my life. Wow. I know that some people ask me what would you become if you were not being a tennis player? So I have no idea. I never thought about it. I had one option. That was the one. So that's it.
Wow.
That's awesome. But I guess that moves us to the next thing I wanted to ask. You have all this passion and love for the game. But Belgium's a small country, right? And the fact that someone like you can come out and you made it to the highest of highs, making, as I was saying before we start the podcast, how tough tennis is. And you were able to make it all the way to the top of the game. What are the odds to be in Belgium to reach that level?
The odds they're not big. The odds are pretty small, but the period
tiny.
They were really tiny. In the period that I was playing, we had Justine and we had Kim Clijsters. She was number 1 and 2 in the world, women, and I made it to 30, but we had Malise. He was top 20. Olivier Rochus was top 25. I was 30. Kristof Rochus was there, I think 35, 40. Steve Darcy. So we had five guys top 50 at the same point, period, and we had number 1 and 2 women. So like no, we in Belgium we will never get this back. Like this is, but we also said like
Golden
no
generation.
Yeah. So, but what are the odds? Well, the odds are so tiny. Yeah, that, like it's like I don't know. It's not 1 out of 10. It's not 1 out of 100. It's like I don't know how many it is, but it's really tiny. And I think the good thing that we had with the guys, I think we were all like was always like 1 or 2 years difference from age, and we could always practice together. I think we made ourselves better by practicing always with good guys. Like because at some point when you're in one country, I don't know which one, but like if you say a country that you have only one good player, well, that good player will not become better because there's no interfere with other people, like not other guys. So I think we have been also lucky that we could practice together. We were like, our level was close to each other. So we made each other also better, like in that way, not only on the tennis court, but perhaps also like mentally, like I wanted to be number 1 of Belgium. Well, that was pretty tough because I had some guys in front of me, so I needed to work hard. But I guess the other guys were thinking the same thing, and I hope they were thinking the same thing, and that made us better actually.
Yeah.
Were there like top pros at the time ahead of you that you learn and practice from? You know, like Rafa was practicing with Moya when he was 12, 13. Like, is that something that was there? Because, I mean, it doesn't seem like you have the same wealth of options as some of these other countries.
No, but when we were like, I remember like 15, 16 years old, I could start practicing with Johan van Herk. He was 60 in the world. We had some Belgian guys like were like between, let's say, 50 and 150. But when you're 15 years old, it's great. You don't need more. Like because like if I was gonna be 15 years old, I had to play with Moya, I would gonna have a big problem. Like I think Nadal is a different level. So I didn't need Moya actually. I didn't need him. He was too good. So
No, Kristof, don't say that. Don't say that.
But sometimes you need to know your spot, and I think I know exactly where my spot was. So no, we were practicing with good guys all the time, and well, yeah, at some point when you start to grow and you start to play better and you start to meet at that point the best guys in the world on tournaments, well, you start to practice with them, then you feel like you get better and better faster, that's for sure. But I think until my, let's say 17, 18 years old, like I was enjoying it so much. It was like I was a little kid on tennis court. Like I could not call it work what I was doing at that time. I think guys now from the young age, they start playing tennis and they're making so many hours and they're so serious. I think we were playing also 3 times a week football, like physical workout. Was playing football. I was looking for 9 other guys, 5 against 5. Here we go, guys. Do it for 1 hour, and actually we enjoyed it. Like, and it was not that professional as now. That's for sure not.
Do you think they've, in a way that's maybe hindered a few things? Like, you know, Carlos Alcaraz always talks about he wants to be happy. Like it's always something he always talks about. Do you think maybe that is kind of lost because you're saying everything's become more professional? Has that affected it in maybe in a negative way, you think, now tennis or not?
Well, it could be negative. I still think when you're young and when you have a dream and you wanna become a big tennis player, a good tennis player, like you still need to enjoy it, because like when you start the game for the first time, when you're like 5 years old, 10 years old, doesn't matter. You do it because you like the game. And at 14 years old, 15 years old, it should still be like a hobby. Like I know the dream is somewhere to become something, but if you don't go on court with joy, at 14 years old, for sure not when you're 25, you're not going to go on court with joy, because then it's getting more seriously. 14 years old, even if you win some national tournaments or you win international tournaments, it doesn't mean anything. Even if it gives you an idea, like, okay, this is a big, let's say when you play ITF, you play grade 2 and you start winning them, well, it feels like you have something more than somebody else. That's possible, but there's no guarantee at all. Like, there's so many guys that were good when they were 16 years old, 18 years old, juniors. They didn't become top 100 afterwards. So there's some, of course, a lot of guys that become, but there are also a lot of guys that disappear. And that's, you don't know why they disappear, because some people could lose the joy of the game. Some people, they're going to feel pressure because the federation is behind them. You can feel pressure from the parents. This is the thing in Belgium that I see now for for the last couple of years, no, actually it's already for 10, 15 years, I can see the difference of the behavior of parents. Sometimes they become, I don't say that they become the tennis coach, but they're close by. They know a lot, or they think they know a lot. So I think those things has changed, but I think also that has changed because let's say 15 years ago, it's like almost 20 years ago now, like a lot of parents, they were hoping that they had Kim Clijsters in the living room or just all once, and they wanted to have the same thing because it was actually at that period, 20 years ago, every Monday morning when you went to buy a newspaper, first page, one of the two won a tournament. Like one of the two that won one tournament. It's like,
It's incredible.
and it could be French Open, but it could also be Strasbourg. It's like a smaller one, but they were winning tournaments. So I can also understand that people from that at that point, they had a small kid at home and they were playing tennis, and they go like, well, if we could have this one, if we couldn't have a second Justine Henin, Kim Clijsters at home, it would be great. Well, and I also think that some parents, they pushed kids too much in the past. I don't know how it's now because I'm not really so much in Belgian tennis clubs now, but sometimes I hear some stories and I think, well, don't lose the joy of the game because that's the reason why you started it.
Yeah, those are some great points. I wanted to ask you also, Kristof, because you talked about how you were part of the golden generation of Belgian tennis. And when did it start where you guys it was iron sharpening iron? At what age were you guys going and like helping each other improve, the practicing together? Did it happen young, at like what age? 15, 16? Like at what age exactly did that start?
Well, I went to the federation, so the national center. Well, we got two national centers in Belgium because we have the Flemish part and the French part. So I was at the Flemish part. So yeah, it's not easy in Belgium. It's a small country, but we divided in two.
Yeah,
sports.
That's
another story. I'm not going to go into that. So when I was 12 years old, I went to the federation. So I was staying at the federation from Monday morning until Friday night. So then I was practicing always with, let's say, the best 2-3 guys of the Flemish part. Every day we practiced together. Well, sometimes we had the occasion to practice with guys a little bit older, a little bit better. But most of the time we were just practicing in our group. And we had like private lessons, we had group lessons. And it became actually from 17, 18 when I was starting to win like ITF junior tournaments, started to make it to quarterfinals, French Open, quarterfinals, Wimbledon. Well, then you start to play the bigger tournaments. Well, also that moment, it's a little bit easy because then even the pros want to hit with you. Like, because when you're 12 years old, what are you going to do? Like, you're just a kid and you don't even know, you know what it is, a forehand and a backhand, but you have no idea what is the job about. And when you're starting to become 17, 18, 19 years old, well, then you know, because then you're going to play with the big guys and you have no option than working hard and play with them and become better.
Yeah. This is something I always wanted to ask, and I hope you can answer it for me. You definitely can. How do you guys like decide, for example, during tournaments, who you're going to practice with? Like all of a sudden, Alcaraz is practicing with Djokovic. How does that dynamic go exactly between players? Like, do you decide ahead of tournaments? Can you tell me what goes on there?
It's easy. It's very easy. I'm the coach. I have all the phone numbers of the other coaches, and say, okay, now I'm at home, but like in the past when I was with Tallon, for instance, we knew we were not going to practice the week before. We're not going to play a tournament the week before a slam. So let's say Melbourne. So the week before Melbourne, we were there in Melbourne already. So let's say the beginning of December, I started to sending messages to the other coaches to say, okay, guys, you guys want to hit with Tal? We can do Monday until Friday. Let me know what day is good for you, how many hours we can hit. So it's actually the coaches, they have contact with each other and they make actually the schedule. I made my schedule always the same thing, like, okay, physical coach, what do you guys need? It's the week before the slam. What do we need physically? How many hours you want to work in the beginning of the week? You need, like, say, the physical coach decided with me, like, okay, let's say on Monday, we're going to go for 2 sessions of tennis. Tuesday, we're going to go for 1 session tennis. We're going to do 1 session of physical workout. So it was easy. Like, I set the options to the other coaches and we take it from there. So it's actually, the phone is doing everything today. So that's the phone. My phone is just there.
Next question.
It's easy.
Yeah, which is my next question. How was it back then for when, like, not that but like a decade ago? Was it different?
Yeah, when I was playing was different. Yeah, there were no phones. Like it was not like
so I know,
WhatsApp,
but
whatever.
how
So then,
different?
no, then it was different. Then when you were on site, like you were on site, you went to the people. Now we don't need to.
Yeah.
Yeah, now you go to people with the phone, like with the WhatsApp thing, and you just actually do one message and you send it to 25 coaches and you wait for answers. And if some guys that answer, well, it's easy. Like the first one who answers wins. So if everybody gets me back, like okay, Monday afternoon, I got 3 options. Oh shit, this. So I have to say no. We have already full for that. So actually now it's pretty easy to do it. And also like when you're on site, like imagine that you only have 2 practice days before the tournament starts because you just arrived. Well, it's easy. There's so many guys there. They want to practice. Everybody wants to practice with everybody. The level is so high of the boys.
Yeah.
It's not that you don't want to hit with a bad guy because there's no bad guy, like, and sometimes you need to look when the draw comes out. It's possible that because like the day before, actually we said, I did always this way, and I know other coaches doing as well. They make the schedule for whole week except the Sunday before the slam starts. Okay, French Open starts on Sunday. So the day before we leave it open because when the draw comes out, it's possible you play against a lefty or you play a guy right-handed, one-handed backhand, whatever. So the last day before the slam, we mostly of the time we leave it open, and then we'll take it. Like when the draw comes out and you play a lefty, let's say you play Shapovalov, well, you need to find a lefty. So, and the lefty they're always looking for the hit, because it's not everybody wants to hit with lefties, and that's the thing it goes. So when you play a lefty, it's actually easy to find. It's easy. There are not a lot of them, so you find them pretty easy.
Yeah, I think Shelton said something recently like, no one wants to practice with me.
Well, yeah,
they only want to practice with me when they're going to play a lefty. Yeah.
Well, you will see that a lot of lefties are practicing with lefties. It's crazy.
Yeah.
But I think
they're the only ones left.
And it also depends about the player you have. Like there will be players that say, no, I don't want to play with a lefty because I play a right-handed guy. But there are also players that go like, doesn't matter, like we just hit balls for 1 hour and I'm good. Like I think also depends about the player, the mentality the player has, and what kind of situation he is. Does he feel good? Does he feel he's bad? Well, then it's always the same. If you want to hit with a guy who wants to practice with Opelka, I think it's great to play with him. And because I think from the back he's very good. I really think so. Okay, the serve is amazing. Of course, I know it, but I can understand that some guys they don't want to practice with him. But I think like just do it. It doesn't matter today because tomorrow you're gonna play somebody else. But it's also like how far you can you adapt yourself to opponents. Like okay, playing Opelka today, physically it's not difficult. Mentally it's pretty difficult. If you play Alcaraz, well, physically it's gonna be difficult as well. Like and mentally it's gonna be difficult, and tennis-wise it's gonna be difficult. So it depends also the state of mind you have, I think.
Okay. There's a question. Sorry, Ismail. I want to just ask this because I saw an interview with Shelton. Sorry, not Shelton. Jack Draper. He said like when he was like wasn't ranked so highly, he said nobody wanted to train, nobody wanted to practice with him or hit with him. So that's more about because he's a lefty then, rather than because he's a low ranked player, or what?
Well, everybody has to answer it for themselves, of course. But I guess today has not a problem to find a guy to hit with. That's not going to be an issue for him today.
Yeah.
I think when you're young, imagine that the top 50 guys, they know each other for years. Whatever. There's a new guy coming. Like Fonseca is coming. Everybody knows he's coming. But like I can imagine, like 15 months ago, or 2 years ago, I think for him it would have been difficult to hit all the time with good guys because nobody knew it. Now everybody knows. So he's going to be top 10, top 15, top 20, whatever. So we can hit with him. But again, I think the coach just has to do the job, and it doesn't matter with who you hit. Like it's not because you hit with a guy ranked 120 or you hit with a guy ranked 40. What is the difference in level? Well, for me, there's not a lot of difference.
Okay.
Is there anything about different when you do it with the big dogs? Like you're trying to practice with Djokovic or Sinner or Alcaraz, does it work differently?
No, it's like the same phone numbers. Like the phone numbers. No, is it different? No, is it different? Like I know some guys, there's some guys they want to hit, they only want to hit like top 10 guys. There's some guys of them that only want to hit with top 10 guys. That's their state of mind. But there's some guys they want to hit with everybody, but it doesn't matter. You also and what is also important, I think, as a coach or as a player, like if you never played on the big stadiums, if you're gonna go US Open, you're gonna play on center court one day. Well, if you never hit on it on practice or whatever, I can tell you it's pretty big, the court. And normally if you play on center court, it means that the opponent is actually the guy. That's the star. You're just gonna be there. Like you're happy to be there. So what is the chance to beat the best guys in the world on the big stages, on the big stadiums? It's not that big. So, but if you want to feel comfortable as much as possible, well, you need to practice on those courts. And if I'm going to book a practice court with you guys now, we're not going to be able to go on Suzanne Lenglen. We're not going to be able to. We're going to hit balls, but it's going to be court 27 somewhere in the park. Nobody even knows who you are. Well, I mean, so this is also like to feel comfortable on the courts, on center court. Okay, if you practice, if you only play matches on courts, let's say from 7 to 25, well, that's not a problem. But with Tallon before, like when I was working with him, well, when he starts winning matches and the ranking is going up, and you're gonna play, last year I think he played 7 or 8 times top 10 guys. Well, you play 10 times, like I don't know how many times it is, but he played a lot.
I think he had like 16.
16.
Yeah,
okay,
16 times, like between Djokovic, Sinner, Alcaraz, and Zverev.
So he had a lot.
15,
so he's now relaxed on the court because he had them all. So he knows how it feels to go on court against these guys. He knows the level he needs to play. He's going to feel comfortable with the stadium. And he also knows that the crowd, well, there were going to be some people for you. But still, I think 70% of the people, some people like the underdog, but not a lot. So 70% of the people, they want Djokovic to win it, or not Nadal is out now. I'm sorry, guys, I'm still in that period. So it's like Sinner. We got about Sinner. Like it's always the same thing. Like that's the way it goes.
But how much of that is when you play these guys over and over again? Is it getting used to it and feeling comfortable? And how much of it is then you created issues for yourself now? Then you have some trauma with these guys. Now I don't want to face them anymore. You know?
Well, no, but I think if your goal is to be one day, let's say top 20 or top 10, and you're ranked 40, well, I'm sorry to say, but if you want to go far in tournaments, you will face them, and you will need to beat them if you want to become top 20 player one day. So, but it doesn't mean that you're going to beat them all the time. And it's normal that the first time you're going to play the big ones, you don't feel as comfortable as you want. But the more you play them, the better you're going to become. Well, actually, if you take the example of Tallon, it's easy, actually. Last year you said it was 16 times top 10, you say, guys?
It was something wild like
so,
that. He had the worst luck.
Okay, so that's, let's say, 15 times. He never beat him. And this year, I know he beat Ineos Wells for the first time. I think he had Medvedev, Dubai or Doha, one of the two.
Yep.
So he starts to beat him. It's also because he feels comfortable. He knows the level that the guys have. He knows the level that he can play. And of course, you need to play one of your best levels all the time. But that's even the same when you play number 50 in the world. You need to play close to your best tennis to have a chance to win it.
So when it comes to Sinner and Alcaraz now that Alcaraz is dominating that matchup against Sinner, is Sinner getting more comfortable now, you think, or is it causing some issues?
I don't think he's feeling uncomfortable.
Is he feeling more comfortable now?
I hope for him he's feeling but I think those guys, they're also comfortable, like with the stadium again. They know each other. I think they practice also a lot together. So I think those guys, it's like actually it's a form of the day. Like, okay, you have the surfers. I can understand that on clay, Alcaraz has more chance than Sinner to win it. But if Alcaraz, his level is dropping by 10%, I think the other one is close to win it. So they still need to play at their best level when they play against each other. I think there are not a lot of guys that can beat Alcaraz in French Open. There are not a lot of guys. I think he can lose against himself, but one guy or two guys can beat him tennis-wise. Well, Yannick is one of these guys.
Yeah. Okay.
Then Kristof, if you don't mind, we need to go back to your playing career because my friend, you were amazing. So we need to talk about that a bit. Okay?
Was I amazing? Was I?
No, you were. Let me just tell you why. Let me just tell you why. Because people forget sometimes, and we need to remind everyone and anyone who's listening or watching, just know how amazing this man is. You have wins over Djokovic. You have wins over Hewitt, over Safin, Wawrinka, Verdasco, Nalbandian, Correa,
Keep
James
on
Gray,
going.
Gaston Gaudier.
Verdasco, you beat his former favorite player, Verdasco, multiple times.
Was my favorite player growing up. So
Okay.
everyone had Rafa. Mine was Verdasco because I felt like he was more. I can touch him more. Rafa's just like he's not even human.
Yeah, I get it.
So you beat all these people, okay? And so you have.
You were a beast, man. You were a beast.
So many amazing things. I hope I'm taking you down memory lane, and we want to go down memory lane
In a good way, hopefully in a good way.
Yeah. These amazing times. Can you just tell me, out of all of these wins you've had throughout your entire amazing career, what was your favorite one?
Favorite one, I think. No, I don't have to say it, but Hewitt is one of the best ones because it's Davis Cup. It's in Belgium, so it's 5 sets. I never won before that match. I never won a match. When it became 5 sets, I never won one. So that's the first one.
Wow.
So that's one who counts a lot.
Clutch.
But if like I can say like Safin in Monaco, I won it, but it's like a hold up. It's like 0-6, 7-6, 6-4. I still know the score. I know, but it's like more. It's a hold up. It's like I won it, but it's more that he lost it. You know what I mean? Like I think Hewitt, I won it more than against Safin. But if you say Gasquet, French Open on center court, 3 sets to love, that's one. It's one big one. Like for me, it's a big one.
Sir.
Statement one.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes.
I love it.
Which one you said also? Like Nalbandian? Nalbandian, I had him in Barcelona, I think. Yeah, Correa had him in Basel. Like
then how about the Djokovic win?
Djokovic.
How was that one? I know he was a bit younger, but how was that one?
Well, we knew like it was a 2-2 also. Like it was the decisive tie. So it was like in Serbia, crowd was not great. No, it was not great towards me. They were not great. But he was young. I think he was 17 years old, but he was playing amazing because he was on Friday. He was against Olivier Rochus playing, and he was 6-1, 5 love up, and he still lost it. He didn't miss a ball for 2 sets. So he showed already at that time he had unbelievable skills. He was so strong. And yeah, I won it in 4. Well, I played one of my best matches at that time for my age. Was good, but I think also he was playing amazing. We could see at that point already, okay, this guy is gonna be, it's another level. Well, now we know the other level is pretty high. We have to admit. So yeah, it's pretty high. So we have to admit he's still playing while I'm already coaching for 15 years. So I don't know if that's a good thing, but of course that's some big wins. Yeah, of course, yeah.
Huge monumental wins.
But like, is there anyone that you felt like, yeah, I own this person? Is there anyone that comes to mind if I ask you, who did you own?
No, I don't think so.
No?
No
one? No, okay.
No.
Those, because sometimes, there are people that they just can't beat, they can't beat you. No matter what, you have their number.
No, it's not.
Okay.
No.
Okay, nice.
Well, yeah, as Yusuf was just saying, Kristof, you were one of the few players that played all of the big 3 during their peaks multiple times. So maybe you could talk to us a little bit about each. Like, you had your own fair share of those battles. So you played Roger twice.
Yeah.
Can you tell us what was that like? I mean, you played him Davis Cup, you played him in Roland Garros.
Well,
What's it like facing Roger?
Roland Garros was my first slam that I qualified. So when the draw came out, I was happy, but I was not happy at all. Like I could face number 1 in the world. It was great, but it was not great. Like a few days later, I thought like, no, this is not good at all. But then we said about like feeling comfortable on the court. That day against Roger, I never felt comfortable by myself. Like, and I'm gonna tell you why. It's like when I still remember, like when it started, when you go on court, And okay, they announce my name and they say like, I don't know, like 20 years old, whatever. He just won 3 times club matches somewhere, like because I didn't win anything. Like it was nothing to say. Like what can you say? He's born there and he's this age, and yeah, he's coming. But yeah, what can we say? And then they start with him and they go like 5 times champion, Wimbledon champion, 1 time this, 5 times US. I don't know what, number one in the world since he won everything for 8 years ago. Like it's like it me, I know it hit me. It looked me in my head. Oh yeah, this is actually not good. Because I also I speak French, so I understand what they say. So I go like, no, this is not good. This is not good. So I know that at that stage I was not comfortable. And I don't even think he needed to play well that day to beat me, or because I was shaky. I was not playing well. And a few years later, I played him Davis Cup. There was the week after he won US Open, indoors in Switzerland. So you can also imagine how that was. The atmosphere was great, but there was breakup in the second set, and I lost in 3. It was 7-6, 6-3, 6-4, something like that. But it was breakup in the first, breakup in the second. But it's like mentally, I was not ready to beat him. Like when I started to lead the score, I thought like, oh, I can really have a set here. Or I can, there's maybe a little chance. And the next changer was like, no, there's no chance. You just lost it somewhere. So yeah, but I prefer to play Roger 10 times than Rafa. I played Rafa on clay 3 times.
Wow.
Yeah.
Was a disaster.
Well, that brings us to our next point, because if there's
we really need to talk about that one.
Because by the way, like one of our team members here is the biggest Rafa fan. He was crying when Rafa retired. I was a big Rafa fan, even though I told you Verdesco. So if you can just please tell us what it felt. You're one of the few people that can tell us how it felt. Like you played Rafa in Monte Carlo, was his castle, also in his peak during his unbeaten run. What was that like?
Well, you can see my face, I guess. It's like, actually the first time I played him in Monaco, I played him twice in Monaco. I lost 3-3, I think, something. And that was actually okay. It was like, there was no chance to win it, but at least you had the feeling you were playing. The year after, I lost against him 1-1. I didn't win my serve. I broke him twice. Like 1-1. And then I played him 5 days later in Barcelona. Again, first round, 1-2 was out. So no, it's like playing him was also a disaster because, first of all, he was never missing a ball. So every point you won, it was actually a point you won it twice because he was never giving you a point. Roger was missing some returns. It felt like he was trying things. Like Rafa was like the discipline he has, like always had, all the same thing. He was focused for 250%. And yeah, he was there to kill you actually. Like, and he did I think he did with so many guys. And the thing also, like Rafa, and I think Roger had the same, and Novak had the same as well. But I think Rafa on clay, after a few years, there were a lot of players. They said they knew before the match, okay, this is gonna be, what is the chance to win it? Like it's 1 out of 1 million. And after a few games, when you feel like, okay, it's not gonna be my day, like. Also, the players at that moment, I think they felt so bad that they go like mentally a little bit down. You put less intensity. So you were losing it already before the match. And when it started, it was even worse. So I also think a lot of guys, they did not really try anymore until the end sometimes. And I don't think it would have changed anything about the results at all. But instead of losing 1-2, perhaps you could have done 3-1, 3-2, like do those things. But in the end, it doesn't matter. You lose it.
That's unbelievable. Wow.
Was there any one of those matches with Rafa that you felt like, I believe I can do it today?
No. Well, the thing is like even if you believe it before the match, because the thing is like what are you saying when you play one of those guys? You go like, okay, if you can get to 1-1, 2-1, 3-1, you never know. Yeah. But after 7 minutes, you're 3-0 down. Like, okay, this is not gonna. And you know that these guys, he was so good. He was so good on it. Like you feel like, okay, he's not gonna miss a ball. It's actually bad to say, but I think I would have preferred to play Rafa in bad conditions. Like windy or something, or rain, or because it's like Monaco, it's too nice. The spot is too nice. It's always good weather. It's not windy. It's like perfect conditions. Like perhaps you need a day like that it's windy and it's for him also difficult to play. Like it's gonna be too difficult for me, but at least for him also it's gonna be a little bit less comfortable. But we never know. I would never beat him. That's one thing for sure. I would not even get close to beat him.
That's unbelievable to hear for somebody that has an amazing career to say that. Like that shows how far we are from.
Oh no, but I'm miles behind. I'm miles. Guys,
and we're thousands of miles behind you.
Yeah, man. Back in the ocean somewhere, you way. Keep on swimming. Keep swimming. Doesn't matter.
You know, Kristof, like when you're talking about this Roger thing of when you heard the announcer saying winner of this, winner of I don't know how many Wimbledons, how many US Opens. I'm thinking like if I'm as a player going in to play Rafa and Roland Garros, when I hear 2005, 2006, maybe should they wear headphones? And because you probably if you hear that,
run away. You run away. You know? It's like that's the thing. Like, and I know because the speaker of French Open, it's a guy that I know pretty well, and I know we had it in Marseille this year. We're talking because he's also doing the presentation of players there, and we spoke about it, and other players also said like he ruined my career. This guy ruined my career, and the guy goes like I know when I start doing it. I know the opponent knows like, oh, this is not good. This. So he says like he feels for the other guy. He feels like I was like, yeah, I'm sorry, I have to do it. Like the guy won everything, so we have to announce it. But yeah, it's true. It's true. Like I think I never played on center court Wimbledon. I never went there. But I did Nadal, not in French Open, but I did Nadal in Monaco and Barcelona was at home. But I can imagine Federer in Wimbledon, I don't know how it is. It's not going to be nice. It's not going to be nice. And when you go Melbourne, Djokovic, it's not going to be nice. Like the feeling, the thing they have, and also the people that come and watch him, they're so pumped. So like it feels you're going to play not only against the opponent, you play everybody. You play like if there's a chance to win or where you get break points, you break them once. The people they're going more and more behind the other one. It's not that they come to yours that it should be nice. It's like no, the other one needs to win because I bought tickets for 2 days. In 2 days, I need him back because this guy is gonna play on court 27 against nobody. Knows he's there. That's also the thing, huh?
This is actually a great point. I'm like, and correct me if you like if this is not the right way to think, but. You know, because we know that Rafa and Roger, they broke onto this, Roger before Rafa, but they were both like, they were the ones. And then Novak came on, and you're talking about this thing of the stadiums against them and hearing all this, and he had to break through that. How much mental, fortitude did he need to have to also overcome those? Because from what you're saying, they are gigantic obstacles, correct? Or
of course. No, I think what Novak did, what Stan Wawrinka did, what Murray did, because we don't even speak about Stan Wawrinka. Huh? He won 3 slams on 3 different services against those guys. It's if you think about it, if you look at it, Murray, what he did, the career he made, like we can talk about the 3 guys, but we have so many guys just behind that. Well, we don't even speak about them. It's like, and this is actually crazy. Like, and the respect that I think I have respect for all the players out there, like who made even if you make semifinals in a slam or quarterfinals in a slam, it doesn't matter. Like when you're there, you deserve respect. But Wawrinka, what he did it has been unbelievable. For me, it has been one of the biggest careers ever. Murray, it's one of the biggest guys. Like I get so much respect for those guys. But what Novak did to beat them, like to beat Rafa, to beat Roger, well, a lot of times in the end, well, it took him a lot of energy, a lot of mental strength, a lot of physical strength. Well, you can see it. He's still there. And okay, perhaps now it feels like he's a little bit off. Yeah. But I always think like, well, be careful because in 1 week he could start hitting balls and could win matches again and he's back. Like the Olympics last year when nobody gave him a chance. Okay, we knew that he was going to try to get to the Olympics and make the gold medal. But before that, he didn't make so many results. So nobody was thinking there's not one guy say, okay, he has a chance. And in the end, he won it. So well, now I also have the feeling like, okay, Novak French Open this year is going to do something. Well, no, I don't think so. But if he gets to quarterfinals, well, be careful because he's this good. This guy is so good.
Yeah. I want to take you back again to because you I think one of the players you just said yourself right now. So many players that aren't talked about, and you know when we were younger, growing up, watching your generation, Nikolai Davidenko was one of I think the best players of that generation.
He was a pain. He was a menace.
Yeah,
he was a menace. He also doesn't miss.
Yeah, I don't think I ever saw an unforced error from him.
I don't know.
You faced him in a final.
I just wanted to say why you say that name. It's my first finals I lost.
True, but you faced him on the biggest of stages.
Yeah.
What was that like? What was that going up against? And can you speak to us about Nikolai Davidenko?
Well, I think he was a guy, or he is still a guy, like Russian guy, was mentally strong. He was moving so well. He's playing so fast from the back. And also I think at that point the surfaces were a little bit faster than now. So I think it helped him a little bit. But it's also he was number 2 in the world. I think he was 2 in the world or 3 in the world. Like nobody talks about him. But it's one of the best players ever. Like I don't think guys were happy to face him. Like I don't think Roger was playing in his garden when he was playing Davydenko in the Masters, or I don't think it was going to go in court. Oh, this is going to be an easy one. No, it's going to be. He needed to be. They all needed to be good, and that's the thing. Like the difference of level that they have is so small. Like I heard, I think a few months ago, I heard Federer saying like he won like 80% of these matches. But if you look at the matches, he only won 53 of the points.
Yeah.
So like it's 53%. But he won 80% of his matches. So you go like, well, if you think about it, like, okay, like, because you never see matches like, it's not that you win 60 points and the other guys are going to be winning 15. No, it's like, it's going to be 60, 53 or something. It's not. And this is actually a stat that you need to take with you when you go on court. Like if you win 52% of the points, you should win it. It should be fine.
Yeah.
Sometimes you can win less, like Novak in 2019 Wimbledon final.
Yeah. Sometimes you need to win the right ones. But coming back to Davydenko, it's like one of the best guys at that stage. Yeah, I think he was the guy after, let's say, okay, Agassi quit when I think that Agassi, Sampras quit a little bit before Agassi. He was one of the guys, like, I think he was playing faster than Agassi. He was moving better. Okay, Agassi was getting older at that time, so it was moving less. But it's one of the guys I was playing forehand and back was like a machine. And nobody wanted to face him because he was playing. If he was playing his speed and you could not follow it, the speed, well, you're done. Like you needed to have good legs to follow the guy.
Definitely. And what about Tsonga? Because you also faced Tsonga. I can't let you go here. But I want to move on, but I also want to hear your thoughts because you played all the guys that we were really like just watching.
But you didn't like me. Like I never heard. I did not hear you guys say like, man, I liked you. That's a that's good song. I don't know. Like what about me? Like
to be fair, Kristof, we were just watching some of your highlights. Yusuf, you want to tell them about the highlight you just watched?
the racket Monte Carlo Lubicic. Yeah. I know, like everybody. It stays. I know.
Can I ask something quickly? How did it feel to break it so clean?
Well, how did it feel? Well, first of all, you need to know. Okay, I was always throwing rackets. I was not quiet on the tennis court, but actually it was. So I played 2 times in a row Nadal third round the years before. It was the first time I was not in his section. So I felt like, well, this is could be my year to go further. And before playing Lubicic, Del Potro, he did not pull out yet, but he started to get a wrist problem. So actually the 4th round would have been Del Potro, who was not going to play or was injured. So actually, if I won Lubicic, I was going to make chorus. So my rank was going to get better, all these things. So actually, that was also the thing in my mind. So I saved match points, second set against Lubicic. I was break up in the 3rd. And then I started shaking a little bit. The nerves took it over. So and when I got broken at Fall, then I broke the record. But it was like frustration also because I knew there was a quarterfinals waiting for me, and I didn't handle it in the right way. I got nervous and I got panicked and whatever.
Yeah. Well, to build on this point that you're making, Kristof, because there's something as tennis fans we notice. I don't know. Maybe some people don't focus on it so much, but the amount of pressure I'm sure that's on players of defending points, and you want to. This is your breakthrough. Like we just saw last week, Nico Yari dropped like 96 spots because he couldn't defend his Rome final.
Yeah.
How much pressure is there on the player, or was there on you? And do you think as on the players that you've coached of, okay, I need to defend in the points? Does it, or do you try not to think of that at all?
Well, as a coach, I always say to my players, like, you don't need to defend them, you're going to lose them for sure. So you don't need to defend them. So you cannot defend them. I'm sorry, they're going to go. So the thing is now, what I always tell my guys, what I worked in the past, like, now you have the ATP race as well, the ranking from 1st of January till the end of the year. So I said to them, like, look at the points that you took. Look what's your ranking at that spot. Like if you, let's say after French Open, like in June, you're ranked in the race, you're ranked 30 or 50, you know you're in the good spot. If you're ranked 250, well, it means something is coming somewhere. Like, so the pressure is on. Yes, it's week in, week out. The pressure is on. But I think as a coach, you try to take away some pressure. You try, but it's not always helping. I still think, and I also thought, like, when I was playing this way, I still think if you do your job and you try to play the matches, you try to win your matches, in the end of the year, you will have your ranking that you deserve. You can have bad draws. You can have, let's say, if you get Sinner French Open first round, well, it's not great. But you're not going to have Sinner or Alcaraz all the time. Yeah. So when you have a good draw, when you have matches that, let's say it's more 50-50 matches, well, if you can win 75% of the 50-50 matches, I think in the end of the year, you're going to be top 50. But again, what's the goal? Like, if you have a guy with a potential like Arthur Fils, let's say, he's like, I think he has a huge potential. He's coming. He's a coming man. This guy could make quarterfinals French Open for me. I think but he never won a match in French Open. So it's tough. Like, but if you ask me now, who can go far? Well, it could be a guy, but he never won a match in French Open. But coming back to defending points, I still think like, well, you need to defend them, but for Nicolas Jarry now it's tough because was it 700 points or something finals Rome, so it's a lot. But it also means like when you lose the points, okay, now it's 700, he loses 95 spots, but if his ranking today, what's his ranking now? It's like going to be 150 then, I guess, something. So if his ranking today is 150, it means that the last 12 months his level has been close to 150. And 1 week made him actually get him to top 20 or top 30. So he could not deliver every single week or more weeks. Like if you play 25 tournaments a year, if he made, well, actually it's pretty easy to say, like if you make 700 points in Rome and in the end of the year you have 2,000, well, it means that you took 1,300 points whole year long. So in 11 months, you took those points. So is that a lot? No, but you see Sinner, when he loses 2,000 points or whatever, it's not going to be, he's still going to be up there. So it's like the average, he's playing every week. He's making finals or semis. So that's the thing. Like if you play, I don't say it's one good week, but you have one unbelievable week, like Popperin, we can take the example Popperin he won Montreal, or what was it, Toronto? One of the two.
Montreal last year.
He has 1,000 points there. Yeah. Well, I think in the end of the year, he ended up with 1,600 points or something. So he made only 600 points. So without that week, he could have been 100 already. Huh? But it's like, that's the way it goes. But it's every player has the same story, except the guys who are winning titles. And the thing is, like, how many guys are winning titles? let's say, eight guys win some titles. Like Sinner, if he wins at 250, he doesn't even know. He doesn't even look at it. Like it's not even counting. It's not gonna count. Like, and everybody behind, like top from 20 to 100, the guy wins at 250. It's like the best week ever.
Yeah.
That's all. That's just also the thing how it goes. That's like the mindset as well.
You win a match at the slam, it's like, it's okay, let's go celebrate today.
Well, yeah, there's some guys. If you're gonna make, there's some guys they're going like, if I can make the second week of a slam, it's like a big thing.
Yeah.
I know Roger, when he was playing, he said it once, but I don't know which year he said it. Like, he said, like, if I lose one set the first week of a slam, I cannot win the slam because I lose too much energy.
Wow.
We were like, when I heard that, like, but I have to play on Monday, the first Monday. I'm playing 5 sets, man. Wednesday, I'm back there. Like, I need to. So, but it also means like the pressure those guys have, or they feel. I never had that feeling because I was never thinking to win a slam. I was not even getting close to a slam. You know, like I was there, I was trying, but at some point, well, I lost it somewhere. So that's the state of mind as well. Like those guys, when you're favorite of a slam, if Roger says like, if I lose one set the first week of the slam, I cannot win the slam. Like it's like 35 minutes. You talk about 30 minutes, 35 minutes, because also he was playing fast points. Like he's not playing physically the thing. He was so good. So these things are also important to take with you. But again, that's another level. Like I was not even close to that level.
But you're saying the ATP Tour is fair in terms of the points and defending it. It's fair at the end of the year.
You got what you deserve, he says.
I think at the end of the year, it's fair. But still, is there another option to do it? I don't know. I just go by the rules. Like this is the rule. Well, I played with it, and that's it.
No, it's a great breakdown.
Well, let's move into talking a little bit about your coaching career, Kristof. So when did you first actually realize you wanted to move into this role as a coach?
Well, I was actually, when I quit playing, I was giving some lessons in a tennis club close to my house. People over there told me like, hey, Chris, I think this is not the right spot where you're in. You should go with really good guys, young guys, doesn't matter, whatever. And I said, well, we'll see if somebody comes on my road. And I was not really looking at it at all, actually. Really? No, but I was still playing some club matches in Germany, in Holland, for myself. Like in the weekends, I could play one day. It was okay. Well, and then I met Tallon actually in the club matches. He was in the second team of the team I was playing with his brothers. And then start talking with him, and actually the parents asked me like if I could help out the family, so the 3 brothers joining from Futures in Belgium for a few weeks. I said, yeah, I'm here, so it's okay. So then I started actually, and I liked the way actually. I'm actually happy that I started my coaching career with nobodies, like in the club, like with some guys were playing 1 hour a week, some were playing 4 hours a week, but like the level was, from my perspective, was pretty bad. You know, like it was not close to call it tennis, but they were doing it. Like in my opinion, was no, this is not great. But then I started to work with some guys. So I started actually really low. And well, I made up my how do you say, like I built myself up, and when I started to work with better guys, like who had like ambitions to play Futures or perhaps one day Challenger, so then I think I could, well, my knowledge I could give them to them, and they were the guys I worked with in the past. They were really, well, they were also listening a lot. Like they were listening a lot, and I think the guys they felt they were moving up pretty fast, and that I felt like when I saw the guys improving, not only on the tennis court, but I saw them improve ranking wise. Like when they start winning Futures, they're gonna play quality challenges, they qualify, they make quarterfinals. Like you feel like the ranking is going up, you're getting in the kind of flow, and then it's starting to get fun, because in the beginning when you go to Futures, you go like, okay, where am I? Like this is not my world. But the thing is, like I told my guys always, like when we started the Futures, okay, these guys, we're going to try to do as less as possible. We need to go higher as fast as possible. So the goal is try to win it, to get as maximum points that you can have. And and we'll take it from there. So, but then with Tallon it's also it's a long story. I think it's a special story, because when you meet each other, he was 17 years old. He was not lost at all, but he was like, I asked him, like, you want to become a tennis player? Yeah, I'm playing 3 times a week with my brothers. Like 3 times a week is not enough. Like the parents ask you, like, okay, can you do it?
He was only playing 3 times a week at 17.
Well, yeah, he was not at the federation. He was with his brothers hitting. The brothers were really good, huh? They're 5 years older, so he was hitting, but he was 17. He was hitting with better guys than him, huh? So yeah, and then I said, when the parents asked me, like, can you do some futures with the guys? I said, yes, okay, I can do it. But I said, like, give me Tallon also, because like I think he's not gonna get into the futures, but at least he can hit every day 2 hours or whatever. So that's the way we started. We were watching a lot of tennis together. We were watching his brothers playing matches. So, and during those moments, I was talking a lot with Tallon. I asked him, like, hey, what do you think? What do you see? What do you think about that guy? Like, what do you think your brother should do? What would you do against him? Or so tactically, we're talking. We had so many talks, so many. And also, like, when I was staying at his house or his parents' house when we were practicing in Amsterdam, 1 week they were coming to Brussels, so they stayed at my house. So it has also became a relationship. Like, it was not coach player. It was like, it has been father son. It has been brothers. It has been friends. It has been we did everything, basically everything together, like all the time.
That's awesome.
So yeah, it's nice, and it still is. Like when I see him, or when we speak sometimes, or when I saw him now the last couple of months on the circuit, like we're still really close, and we will always be close, because I think we went through a lot of stages together. If you start playing club matches together when he's 17, and you look at future winning, challenges winning, ATP winning, well, then the only thing is a slam, but we're far away. We have not been
That's
close.
amazing.
We have not been close. So yeah, of course, then it's like a bond that we have together, and we will always have. Like, it's like he knows, and he knows, like, if he needs something with even if there's something with his family, whatever, like there's a problem, whatever, he knows he can call me. I'll try to solve it, and it's the other way around as well. Like, if I call him now, man, I need a car, like something happened, I know he will help me out. Like, this is also great.
That's amazing.
That's so
Yeah.
beautiful.
That's so awesome. Yeah, it's like a truly family special bond. You
Oh
guys
yeah,
have.
yeah, of
That's
course.
awesome.
No, it's like for me, it's like he's family. He will always be family, and his family is family. Like, you need to know that I was spending time in the parents' house. I was sleeping there in the parents' house when he was still living at his home as well. So I had my own room in the house, but I was watching TV with the parents. Like, I was talking I wasn't having coffee. I was having breakfast, lunch, dinner with the parents, with the brothers, with the grandparents. Like, we did actually, I was like part of the family. Like I know, and when I see, like, I saw the father of Tallon. I saw him in Munich this year. He came to watch Tallon. Like, when I saw him, I didn't speak with him for like 6 months or something. Now I saw him. Like, I said, man, we're gonna have a beer, man. Like, this is like, it's like a moment. Like, and then we had like a talk. We spoke like 15-20 minutes, like before, and it's like we had a lot of good things together. Yeah.
Can I just ask Kristof something? Because you're talking, I just feel, it makes me feel bubbly inside when you tell me the story about you and Tallon and the family. How proud are you of just this entire journey that you went on with him, and him going on his own journey? How proud are you of him?
Well, I'm really proud of him, because when you need to know, like, when I saw him playing club matches for the first time, I just saw him hitting balls, and I thought, like, man, he can hit balls, and I think after the first practice I did with him, I told him, and I know he felt it as a pressure, which was not the idea at all. But I told him, like, if you don't make top 100 one day, you really fucked it up. And he looked at me like, what do you talk about? I said, no, it's like the skills you have, if you start working, you do the things you need to do, you'll make it. And I know he felt it. Like, a few years later, he told me, like, Chris, you remember this? Of course I remember, I said it. And he goes, like, it felt like a pressure. I said, well, it was actually not meant to be like pressure. It was actually more like, man, I really think you have the skills, and you should be confident in yourself and do the thing. So I'm really proud of what he does on the tennis court. And actually, the most that I'm proud of now, and it's gonna sound weird, but I said it yesterday to friends of mine, like he's winning matches now. He stays there. He stays like top 30. He's close to the big guys. He's like, I don't think a lot of guys want him close in
Nobody
the
wants to
draw.
face him now.
Like
Nobody
like
wants to
so
face him.
like and also like you can win tournaments, you can win ATPs, you can beat good guys, but now it's like he's there for a few years now.
Yeah.
Yep.
And it's not like you have guys like and it's not bad at all, but you have guys like they go to top 30 and the year after they're back to 90 and you never see them again to top
Yeah.
30, but it's still good. 90, it's not like, I don't want to speak bad about these guys at all, but I think like he now his average level is so high that before, when he was a little bit younger, of course the average level was less good as now. But like the thing that I'm most proud of is now, like I can see that he feels comfortable on the tour. He's the matches he plays against the best guys in the world, like he's there, he's ready to compete, and he made a lot of steps forward by that, because I also think like in the beginning of when we worked together, he didn't have a lot of confidence in himself, because nobody, like he didn't feel like there was a chance to make it there. And it's again like when the first time you're gonna play a slam, or the first time you're gonna walk into semifinals, or you're gonna win, you play it finals, like the feeling you have, it's like it's a long journey. Like he's coming from far, and he still has, I think, 6 7 more years in front of him, and there's no reason that he's not gonna make it to top 20 one day, or he can, I think he's ready to make a new step.
Yeah.
Which brings me, actually, this was my next point, because on this podcast, I think during the Middle East swing, when he was doing amazing, he beat Berrettini, he had amazing wins during that time. And we're like, Tallon Griekspoor, he just keeps improving each year. And we're like, you watch him, he has amazing serve, amazing ground strokes. And this is a man who can touch the top 10. How high do you think someone like Tallon can rise? Because as you said, he's improving year in, year out. How high can he go?
I think it can go really high, and it's going to depend of a few things. If I can reflect to one thing, like last year, third round French Open, he lost 7-6 in the fifth against Zverev, but he was 4-1 double breakup in the fifth.
That was a nasty match. Yes.
And yeah, I was there. I was there with nasty. I felt it. I still feel it. No, like let's say like okay, this one he loses in a certain way because he got a little bit nervous. He felt like this is gonna be, it could be the best win ever, top 10, finally, blah blah blah. Okay, you lose it 7-6 in the fifth, but I'm pretty sure if he would have won that match, you don't know what's happening the day after, the 2 days after. You don't know. But I think that kind of win could have pushed him close to 15 at the end of the world, at the end of the year, sorry. And I think these kind of wins he needs, and that's why I say that I think he's ready to get close to those guys, like to win them more and more. Where I think he beat it first Medvedev top 10, then Zverev this year. So I think now he showed himself that he's ready for the next step, and I think he's building on it. Like he's working hard.
I feel also after he wins, you felt like he knew he was gonna win, or he was confident that he was gonna win. Also, it's not like he's dropping on the ground celebrating like it was a surprise. Like he had confidence that he was gonna do it.
Well, I think that the self-belief that he starts to have now is the one he needs, and he needs to keep it. And that's gonna make the difference if he's gonna make it to 2015 or whatever. Like it's difficult to say a number on it, like because sometimes it depends of so little things. But as I said, like I think French Open last year was one of his best matches on clay, but it's gonna be the worst feeling he could have had afterwards.
Yeah.
Afterwards in the locker room, there was not one word that could we say. What could we say? Like he said by himself, like I fucked it up by myself. Like And these losses are perhaps the worst ones or the toughest ones to deal with.
Yeah.
But a good player, he's gonna learn from that, and I think he learned a lot from last year or the years before.
How can you help Tallon or a player like that in that moment navigate that loss, such a heartbreaking loss?
Oof. Then you need just to be smart and don't say a word. No, no. After the first half an hour, you don't say a word because you have a player who played 5 hours, was 12 degrees, was cold. Like it's a tough loss. He sits there. He feels like he fucked it up. He knows what happened. He knows the feeling. So well, after that, the only thing you can say, man, you're on the right path, and you need to be proud of yourself. And all what I say now is bullshit. But in a few days, when you start going to the grass season again, he needed to defend Sertogenbosch, the tournament in Holland. So he was also the people there, the expectation was pretty high. So the pressure was also high there. So I told him, like, you need to be proud of yourself and keep on working, and all the things you do now, like, okay, now you lost the match, but I think you made some steps forward, and you showed yourself that you can beat those guys at the highest level, the biggest stages. So now it's the matter of time when you're going to do it.
Yeah, it sounds like that's the right thing to say.
well, perhaps other guys are going to say something else. Huh? I don't know. Huh?
Yeah. Well,
It's like,
I mean,
but this is also the thing that I did with him, because I knew him for 10 years. Like when you work with, it's like the relationship that I have with him is different. Like it's it's also the emotions sometimes can take over, like at that point, which is tough. Huh? That's also one of the reasons at the end of the year, like what we're gonna do. Like, okay, we're gonna do one more year together, but it feels like, okay, like we're not working anymore, like more friends, so we need to split up, and that's also one of the reasons. Huh?
Yeah. Then maybe a couple other questions about how to help players get in the zone. So what about players dealing with like pre-match nerves? Like, is there any specific routines, things? How can you help players get over those pre-match nerves?
Pre-match nerves. Well, I think first of all, like if you start doing warming up and you're getting nervous, I think the harder the warming up you make yourself sweat. These things are going to help. I think also it's very important that the player says that he's nervous, because there's a lot of, in the past I worked with guys also at the club, like a small club. They say they're not nervous, but we can see like he's nervous. Like so I think it's very important that the player recognizes by himself how he is, how he's feeling, how he behaves, and from there you can work on that. Well, the only thing what you can say as a tennis coach, or when you're there, or as a team, as a physical coach who's there as a team, you can only try to tell them like, hey man, you did all the hours you did, everything is in there, physically you're strong, mentally you feel good, tennis wise you prove yourself, you're there day in day out, you're practicing good, you're winning matches, so there's no reason why you should doubt now. But I understand it. I had it by myself.
Yeah.
It's funny because
Well,
I laughed when you said, players say, they're not nervous. And then you see they're nervous. I do the same thing sometimes, and then I go on court, backhand is in the bleachers.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, but that's the way it goes. Like, and I also think like I think some guys, some top players, like even it's possible that some guy his best ranking is gonna be 150 after 10 years career. 150 is the best ranking, but I still think some guys who get to 150, they're better tennis players than the guys who are 30 in the world, but they just cannot handle the nerves.
Oh, wow. Interesting.
It's possible, huh? It's like it's not every guy, but sometimes you feel like, okay, why is that guy not coming up? Like why is not coming? He's not winning matches. Why is that? Like he's so good, and
Yeah.
it doesn't mean like there's a bad coach. It doesn't mean they don't work in the right way. It's possible that the guy cannot handle situations, and that could be nerves.
That's also interesting. Sorry, Ismail, to cut you off, because there's this point. Sometimes when they do these ATP predictions with players, like they give their prediction, who do you think is going to break in this year? And usually the fans have a prediction, and then the players have a completely different one because they practice with certain players.
Yeah.
Like Rublev, for example, has been saying Draper is supposed to break in for like 5 years right now.
Yeah.
So it's interesting that you say that.
Yeah.
Sorry, Ismail, to cut you off.
No, but it's true. Like I think like I think like some guys we know, like Draper, we knew he was gonna get fit, physically fit. He was gonna get close to 10.
Yeah.
But now he's already 5 or something, I think, 5 or 6 years.
Yeah. 5.
So so we knew that he has capacities like, but Fonseca, for example, when he won last year the next gen, everyone says like he's gonna be top 20 at the end of the year. Well, he will be one day for sure. That's not a doubt. But i- is he already ready to make it now to semifinals French Open? I don't know, but perhaps in 2 weeks I'm wrong.
Well,
Yeah. And
let's not open that can of worms because I have people here that think he's one of the favorites.
yeah.
Who
No,
thinks?
This guy.
I'm a big fan of Fonseca in
Yeah,
general.
me too.
though,
Me
just
too. I'm a big fan.
but-
I
but
love
I'm
the
a
way he
big fan,
plays.
But no, but I'm
everything.
not going to predict that for him. No.
But that's
I
gonna.
just think people are rushing.
You can
People are
predict
rushing
something
it.
like that when the draw is out. If you, it's bad to say, but if he plays Alcaraz in the first 3 rounds, I'm sorry, it's not gonna make it. But if he's he could be on the side like say, Korda, who is seeded.
Yeah.
Well, against Korda, he has more chance on clay
Yeah.
than against Alcaraz.
Yeah. Yeah.
Of course.
That's also the part of the draw when you're seated and or you're just not seated and you're on the wrong spot. Wrong spot means Alcaraz Sinner. That's that we had for years. We were thinking, no Djokovic, no Federer, no Nadal. We don't want him. Well,
Yeah.
some guys are gonna be there. Like you just pray you're not with them.
True. Then about this point, because this personally for me, I used to struggle a lot with this, Kristof, which is like playing not to lose. How about players that are in that mentality? Like, how can they get over that hump? Is it the same thing as the pre-match nerves, or is it a different thing?
Well, the thing is, like, the ones who are playing not to lose, they will lose in the end, and the ones you see on TV, the best ones, they play their own game and they know how good they are. They know what they're gonna do, and they believe in themselves. It's like self-belief, huh? What do you say? If you play not to lose, you can get away with it once, but I'm not a big fan of it.
How can you coach someone out of it? Can you coach someone out of it?
Yeah, if you have a good game plan. Yeah, if the game plan is done and the player believes 100% in the game plan, you can remind them all the time. Your game plan. You just need to focus on the game plan. The game plan. That's the only thing you need to focus on. Don't focus on 30-15, 40-15, break point down, match point up. Like because it's like the first point of the match is the same as the last point. You only get 1 point for it. It's not that you get 2 double points because you make it jump smash. No, it's like it's the umpire just says 15 love. It's not, you're not getting a bonus point somewhere. So, but yeah, it's difficult, huh? It's difficult to put not importance on a point because it's like 15-4. It's a break point. Like, yeah, but it's the same point as the first point of the match on paper. But it's like the importance that you give yourself. You give yourself to the point.
And well, to that point, Kristof, there's now the emergence of like sports psychologists. Some have them in their box, some have them in their team now. What do you think of this new phenomena, and how important really is it?
Well, I think it's important for the players because they ask for it. They ask for it, yeah, and I think a lot of I've been working 6 months with Zizou. He's working with a psychologist, and I think they did let's say a long road together. I think they're building up. They're working already together for 3, 4, 5 years. So they have also the confidence in themselves, like the relationship that they have. It's pretty strong. And I think it's like the player needs to guide a little bit what he needs. I think with Tallon in the past, Tallon and I spoke a lot about it. The physical coach who is with Tallon now also speaks a lot with Tal. I don't think Tal feels that he needs somebody else from outside. But again, that's personal. Like, I think like if I look at Ia Swiatek, I think she always somebody with her. It's gonna depend of the player what's going on in the mind. Like me, I'm. It's difficult for me to give an opinion about it. I have been playing by myself. I have been working in Belgium a few times with mental coaches. Did it help me? Probably, but I'm not sure. Like because I was always thinking, yeah, because I still break records. But no, because I was always my state of mind was also like if I was talking with a guy who never played tennis, who he was like, I said like they just study the thing. He was reading books. That's what I always say. Like he's reading books. It's good, but like I cannot believe that that person can feel what I felt or what I feel on a tennis court when you play, let's say, Nadal. I can tell him, yeah, I feel a little bit scared. Yeah, this is, but he's gonna go like, I don't think he can get even close to my feeling. But that's my point of view where I start, where I start my thing. And I guess some guys they're open-minded for it more than others. And yeah, you need to believe. And I think also like a player, if he starts working with a mental coach and the player feels better, if he starts to feel better, he's gonna believe more in it. When I saw about Ruth last week, I thought he said something about mental health and help and everything. He won Rome, so well, everybody should go now. This is this is like if everybody thinks now at home, like man, we need one. Well, I don't know. Like I think it's gonna be important with the player that he has a good team around him. And yes, if imagine that you for if you play 25 tournaments and you lose 18 times the same way because mentally you lose it, well then it's time to do something. If you lose your emotions twice a year, well I think well it's not that bad, you know what I mean? Like we just spoke about the pressure, we just spoke about a lot of things. If you look at Alcaraz last year, Cincinnati, I think was Cincinnati, he broke his racket for the first time. Was it Cincinnati?
Yes.
Yeah,
I
against
think it was
Monfils.
yeah.
Against
Yes.
Monfils.
That was also after the Olympics. I still think he was still frustrated because he lost. He didn't. Yeah, he lost gold. Let's say take it that way. It's possible that at that point, a young guy from that age, he was living for the Olympics in French Open. Like his surface, he loses final for any reason against the best guy ever that existed until now. Well, I can understand that the guy loses a little bit of his nerves because there's perhaps some frustration from a few weeks before. It's possible that it's not, but it's going to depend also like how you feel it.
Yeah.
Okay, then Kristof, I wanted to talk to you about something which is super interesting to me, and it's more around the player-coach dynamics. So the first question I wanted to ask you, and this probably is, I don't know what the answer is, but let me know. Have players ever yelled at you while you were in the coach's box?
Of course.
Okay, because we all know that, right?
You knew the answer, no?
Yeah, I know.
Okay.
I know. My question is, how in the world do you deal with that?
Well, it's going to be easy. And my example is easy. When I started to work with Tal, because I always take the example of Tallon, like because, okay, everybody knows him. He he had when he was younger, the same character as me. So I was throwing rackets, I was breaking rackets, I was yelling to ball kids, I was yelling to umpires, I was yelling to the crowd. Everybody was bad except me. That was actually that was my basis, like this, which is completely wrong. And when I started to work with Talon, I told Talon like I don't want you to become as me on the court. It's gonna be a disaster. So I told them a lot, like if you have nerves, anger, you're angry or whatever, yell at me. I will not take it personally. Like yell at me, give it to me, get it out. I told him during matches and futures challenges, even ATP, I told him a few times because he's trying to behave. Because okay, you need to behave. And I told him a few times, break the racket, smash it, take a new one, start over again. Is it good coaching? For him, yes. For others, no. With him, it worked. But yes, the relationship with Habatal, like I don't know if you guys know, but I left the first round French Open 2 years ago, the match because he was losing it completely, and I was taking in, but that was enough. And last year Wimbledon first round against Galan, I left also. So, but that's also the thing. And you need to know, like, and everybody can know it when French Open. So I leave the first round. he wins in 5. After the match, we just shake hands and we move on. I don't need from him down to talk like, hey, you feel, I'm sorry, it was not personal. No, I just send him a message like, I'm at the transport, we can go, whatever, like tomorrow practice. So, but it's also because I know him for so long.
Yeah.
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 And
It's a very
also
unique relationship.
yeah, so the thing also is like emotionally, I was very involved with him because I know where we're coming from, where we started. So it's like so some things, and this is also the thing that I discussed with him a lot. Like I still wanted him to give me the and not the people because
Yeah.
when I was playing, and I'm happy that I was not playing this kind of period because social media was not there. Facebook was a little bit there, but nobody knows actually how bad I have been on the court. I cannot say. Like, I don't know if you guys need to cut this one.
Don't expose yourself. Don't expose yourself. Keep it hidden.
It's still a
I'm too
secret.
honest.
It's
I'm
still a
too
secret.
honest. I'm too honest there. No, but it's true. I think I don't know. Like I have been bad on the tennis court. I had bad behavior. Like I know I was throwing balls or break rackets, whatever. Like and I know I paid fines for because I did everything. Okay, I paid for everything, but I know, and that's also the thing sometimes with Tallon in the past. Like when something happened on the court, like I could tell him like, Tal, please, and a half an hour later we sit down, we eat something. He goes like, I'm sorry, I made it this way. I'm sorry. Like I know it's me. Like actually I did it. Like I made you this way because I thought at that moment this is the thing you need to win the match. So
Yeah.
do I say to all my players like in the past or whatever, but in the future, like man, don't try to behave like Jesus, like break the racket, yell one time, take a new one, and we go again. Like at that point, as a coach, you try to change something and try to win the match in the end. That's the thing that matters.
Yeah. You know, but this also comes like it bridges with the point of that you said about the sports psychologist. You can't deal with it much because they don't feel the same thing you felt on the court playing Rafa, for example. You think also from the coaching standpoint, also for like we have Rublev, he went and he decided to partner with Safin, and we know he's had so many like anger problems. So he went to someone who probably has something similar, so he can actually understand him the most, therefore help him the most.
Well, I don't know the reason why he went to Safi now. I don't know him, but I don't know the reason. But I think in the past,
But it matches what similar to what you're saying.
well,
with
yeah,
Samuel.
it could be. It could be one of the reasons. I know that Vicente, who is still working with Alberto Martin, well, the Spanish guys, they're more quiet.
Yeah.
Nothing when I was playing. Well, yeah, sometimes the racket. Well, yeah, he broke a few. It was like he was yelling sometimes. It was like it's possible that one of the reasons. Yeah, it's possible. But it's again like every player makes his choices for a reason, and if they start working together, or a player splits up with a coach, or a coach splits up with a player, there's a reason for it, and it doesn't mean that it's a bad reason or something. It's sometimes it doesn't work, and I guess that Andre is like he has been top 5 for a long time, and he hopes to make the step to win a slam or make final slams, and perhaps he went to look for a guy like, okay, he won slams, he was number 1 in the world, perhaps he has something more than the others. I don't know. That's he can only give the answer.
Yeah.
I would have loved to have you as a coach.
that you could break rackets and you could yell at me.
No, but in all honesty, I feel though like when I was younger, when I was playing, I didn't feel like coaches understood me. I always felt like
No, but
they just have to.
that's the same with me. Huh? When I was younger,
Yeah.
I was misbehaving for my 10-year-old in the court. It's like it's not new. It was nothing like it didn't start when I was 23. It was already before. So no, but that's for sure. But I think the character of everybody is different, and you have guys who's gonna stay. If you look at Bautista Agut, I have so much respect. Not okay for their career, 100%. But the way he is on the court day in day out, every day the same thing is like. How did he get angry one day on a tennis court? Can somebody tell me that? I have no idea.
Never seen it.
I never see it. And he was top 10 in the world. He's still, what is it, 50 in the world. He's practicing every day, winning so many matches, and like
Professional, pure
you
professional.
you will not find him on social media. You will not find the record. He will not be in the top 10 breaking records. Huh? He's not going to be in it. It's like,
But
But
it
it's
feels
like-
like we need you back on this. Now. We need you back on tour.
I'm
now.
not coming back. I'm not
You
coming
would be a
back.
sensation on tour now.
But-
We need you for sure.
Well, we spoke about Stan Wawrinka, won 3 slams. If you look at Stan Wawrinka, he had moments that he breaks the record on his knee. Done.
He
Like,
snapped
oh
into
man, that's a strong guy, huh? Like it's that's the way it goes. Like some guys do it that way, and we had already and actually it's actually good. I don't say it's good for the sport, but when Novak breaks a racket or Roger did it once, it happened. Like you can feel these guys are human as well. Like it's not only a guy is like 55 in the world, he loses it. They go like, oh, mentally he's not strong. No, it's you guys don't get it. He's 55 in the world. It's not like he's not playing third division regional somewhere. Right? It's like it's game on, huh?
Yeah.
Exactly.
I always felt like Djokovic was like the most human one. Okay, Kristof, I want to ask you now about some guys on the tour. I want to ask you, who's your favorite player that you enjoy watching right now?
Ooh, I loved watching Daniel Evans before.
Oh.
I come
He's
with
a
it.
crafty
Yes,
player.
yes. So I think that guy well, he still has them. He will never lose them. But I think he had skills. The way he tactically outplayed some guys all the time. Like I like Dan Evans a lot to watch him play. Who else do I like to watch? I would go, yeah. I'm not gonna go with one of the top guys. That's too easy. I'm gonna go. Well, Murray before. I loved him as well. But I also loved Murray because I was waiting until the moment he starts shouting at his team, like Ivan Lendl sitting down there, like easy going, and he doesn't even look at him, like he's not even smiling, nothing, no emotion. So that's also the thing that I like a lot about. But some things, yeah. Well, I think Berrettini is nice to watch at. I think Berrettini, the way he plays, like the serve, the forehand is unbelievable. Backhand's a little bit less good, but he's trying to manage with his slides. So I like those kind of guys.
Yeah. Okay, then I want to ask you then about, Alcaraz and Sinner. Why has Alcaraz been so dominant against Sinner? Can you explain to that for people that don't have the same psyche as you do?
I think Alcaraz, the thing that he has so many skills compared to other ones. So Alcaraz, he can play fast, he can play slow, he can play deep, he can play short, he can play high, he can play flat. And he can adapt himself to opponents. So if he would have played everything hip high against Sinner, well, Sinner is going to take over the pace, and he's gonna how do you say, like he's gonna dictate at that point. So I think Alcaraz, he has the skills to go far behind, play a high, or loop a one. He's mixing up all kind of different balls, the slice, top spin, higher ones, the fast ones, flat ones. So that's the most difficult to adapt all the time when you play against a guy who is mixing up the game all the time. So that's why I think he feels comfortable against Yannick, and Yannick needs to find a solution for that, because Yannick is one of the best strikers. Huh? Like he's gonna go the speed forward and back, and the way he moves, everything. So I think it's very important for a player to try to make a move as much as possible, knowing that Yannick wants to be dominant on the court.
We see a lot of people on tours, or not a lot, like fans especially, talk about the resemblance between Federer and Nadal. Do you see that resemblance?
No, I'm not. No, not yet. No, not yet, because I also think it's different. I think it's different. I think Nadal and Federer, to get close to them, they still need, I think, 40 more battles to get close. Now it's too early in their career to talk about that. I think like they already had great matches, that's for sure. But if you ask me like matches Federer and Nadal, which ones? Well, I can tell you Wimbledon ones. I can tell you Melbourne. Like there's some finals in there. Now with Yannick and with Alcaraz, well, it's not yet, but it could come. And perhaps in 10 years, we're going to say like they played each other 22 times in Slam finals. It's possible.
Yeah, we hope so.
Now, do you think, Kristof, that like because they played on clay this last matchup, and then is these things that you talk about how Alcaraz plays and his variety in his game and how he can play in many different ways, and Sinner is more, I don't want to say robotic, but like I think you know what he's going to do from on top of the baseline. What is it the same on grass? Is it going to be the same on hard, or is this just specific to clay?
Well, I think it's more specific to clay. I think on the grass, you cannot go back and play the loopers. But who would have thought that Alcaraz was going to win Wimbledon?
Twice.
I have a question. I need to ask you. You're someone who is an expert. Is grass Alcaraz's best surface?
Well, it's strange to say, but it could be, yeah. It could be. It could be because his movement's unbelievable. He's a great shot maker. So yeah, it's possible. Yeah, it could be. And again, it's gonna depend. If he plays Ryan Opelka first one Wimbledon, he didn't play a match before on the grass, he's not gonna have a great time. But again, if he plays guys with the same level, he can get used to the grass. Well, I think he can play on any surface. I think you can even give him another racket. It's gonna be still great. You know what I mean? Like he's playing with Babolat now, but if you give him a racket of a head racket, I think he's still gonna be unbelievable with it. You know what I mean? Like he's that good. He has so many skills. He's gonna find a solution with the tools he has.
Yusuf's been saying after Alcaraz won his first Wimbledon Slam that Alcaraz is best on grass. So
I think so. I think
he's been saying that for a while.
His game translates.
Well, it's possible. Yeah, it's possible because I think also he's going to improve his serve more and more. They've been working on it. So and he has unbelievable good returns, unbelievable good hands. So it's possible. Yeah, why not? It's not impossible.
Okay.
Then for Sinner, Chris, what are his solutions right now? Like, okay, he's now 0-4 in their last 4 times they played each other. If you're in his box, you said you might get the call from Sinner soon. So you have his phone number. You're a phone number away. The Moya thing was fake. So
Great.
What are you gonna tell him? I know if you're good at something, you don't do it for free, but give us some insights.
No, some insights. I think the Yannick needs to look at the way how he lost the matches. Is it 4 times the same way, or is it 2 times a certain way because he made mistakes by himself, or was it because the other one was too good? Was it because he was not adapting enough, or he went for too much? So I think the team, and they will do it. They have to look at the way how we lost it. You can lose a match, but you can lose 6-4, 6-4, and you have 2 break points down. You get broken twice. You can have 12 break points and you don't make 1. So is that the loss? Yes, it's a loss. On paper, it's a loss, but actually you have something to work on. If you lose all the time 6-2, 6-2, well, then I think that's gonna be a problem somewhere. So if you're in the box with Yannick now, I think you need to work on a few things and adapt perhaps and try perhaps, and that's also not easy, I think, but perhaps he should try a few things against guys against who he cannot lose. It's perhaps strange to say, but it's strange to say, but Yannick is too good for, what is it, 95% of the guys, or 90% of the guys, like so. And can you try some things? I don't know, like some guys like last year Musetti, I saw indoors he was trying a few things. He was trying to get more to the net. He was doing things that he was not doing before, and well, it's not because of that he's now 15 in the world, or no, he's 10 already. I guess no, he's already close to 10.
Yeah.
So I think some guys, they're also working on the game plan and to see if something happens. Like we say about Zverev that he's far too behind the baseline all the time to win a slam, everything. Well, I saw him playing in Munich. He was playing sometimes serve and volley against some guys, was coming to the net against a few guys. He didn't come to the net 25 times, but at least there was something. Perhaps they're working on something, and we're going to be surprised in a few weeks.
If they're going into the final in a few weeks now, Kristof, if Alcaraz and Sinner are going to face each other in the final, what's the tactics that you would tell Sinner to do? Like this what's this mean? Try something different. What do you tell him to do?
You really want him to join Sinner's box, huh?
Make your case.
Feels like I'm in there already.
This.
Feels like I'm in there.
Let's make it happen.
Speaking Italian,
He's gonna see this. He's gonna see this podcast and he's gonna call me.
What should he do? I think he needs to know what he did wrong in the past, and again. With Alcaraz, I always have the feeling that he will decide what's going to happen. So he doesn't have all the cards in his hands. So you need to not hope, but I think if Alcaraz plays this level on clay, he's not unbeatable, but he's going to be really close to unbeatable. So I think already if you play Alcaraz, you need to play 100% your best tennis. And I think Alcaraz needs to go a little bit down in percentage, and then perhaps you get a match. But best of 5, I think it's tough to beat him there.
Yeah.
Well,
last question before I pass it back to you. If you on Alcaraz Sinner at Wimbledon though, who are you facing? Who are you preferring in that matchup? Because it seems like you like Sinner also on grass.
I'm gonna go with Alcaraz because I still think he has some more skills. Because it's like, I think Alcaraz he can outplay some guys on grass also. He's gonna play some serve and volley. He's gonna play some drop shots. He's gonna mix up the game, and that's also that. I think a lot of people like him because he's like mixing up the game, and sometimes yes, it's too much because he's not focused 100% and he's losing it a little bit. But he's young. He won already slams, and I think the team that he has with him, I think is one of the best teams he could have.
It's hard to argue with that.
That's some internal discussions we'll have with Yusuf later as well.
Okay.
Okay. Now I want to ask you about the Murray Djokovic partnership. What do you think of that?
Well, I think everybody was a little bit surprised in the beginning when we heard it, when they were gonna work together. Now I heard that they split up. I don't know what their deal was. Like, was it to do a few weeks a year? Was it to do 1 year? I don't know. Like, perhaps they said, like, okay, guys, we're gonna do 5-6 months together and then we'll see it. If I was Novak now, I think I would have kept Andy until Wimbledon.
Yeah,
that's what we're all saying. That's what we're all
Like,
saying.
but again, I'm not there. I never spoke with the guys about it. Like, I was never there in a meeting. I don't know what they spoke about. But yeah, I would think if I was Novak today, I would think like, man, Wimbledon, I have one of the best guys on the grass, and perhaps he can give me something. Yeah. Like, it's possible. I don't know. So, but I think they shared a lot of thoughts together by how both of them played some opponents in a different way. They outplayed some guys in a different way, and I think they shared so many thoughts together, and I think it has been really interesting for both of them. But I think also a lot of guys wanted to be there to listen what they were saying.
Yeah, that was awesome because Murray was my favorite player growing up. I love that partnership. I was like, wow, that's so cool. Especially you never see it happening ever in any sport. So that means now if you don't go coach Sinner, so Djokovic is going to be called.
Well, it feels like I'm going to be in a good spot, huh?
Hope so. Knock on all of the
Who is yelling? Who is yelling the most in the box? I don't know. Like, who is going to yell to me?
and Djokovic is going to love this. He loves yelling at his box, so he's going to love yelling at
it. It's great. It's good. I'm going to be in a good spot.
Great. Come yell at me. We'll just go have a beer after.
It's going to feel like home, man. It's good. It's going to be great.
I hope so. Then speaking of Djokovic, do you think he's going to win a slam? Do you think he still has it in him to win another slam?
Well, sometimes you would think no, but who thought he was going to win the Olympics, as I said last
Yeah.
year?
Yeah.
Do I think he has a chance to win French Open? No.
Oh,
Do I
okay.
do I think that he has a chance to win Wimbledon? Yes.
Oh, that's interesting because if Alcaraz is better on Wimbledon on grass in Wimbledon, then that's
Yeah, but I think that at that point on clay, I think it's going to be too much for Novak
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
against those guys. But on the grass, he serves unbelievable. He has unbelievable returns. And also, don't forget, Novak. He can play serve and volley. He can do things. He didn't do it because he was so good from the back.
Yeah.
But I think a guy like that also, like why he's not able to win Wimbledon? Yes, of course.
Yeah.
And I think if he gets to quarterfinals, well, it's also mentally tough to beat him, huh?
Yeah.
How many guys can beat Novak on grass, Wimbledon center court mentally?
Only one person.
You tell us. You tell us.
No, it's not my podcast. I ask the questions. Just give the answers. I don't think there's so many guys who are going to be able to do it. There's not so many. So, yeah, why not Novak Wimbledon? Yeah, I would not be surprised. But I don't know how he feels. I don't know what he wants to do. I don't know where his goal is. Is his goal like he doesn't need to play the Masters at the end of the year? Yeah, that's what he said already last year. The Masters it's not interesting he's not interesting to play it. He wanted to win the Olympics. He won the Olympics. So if now he decides to win Wimbledon in his mind, well, why?
Yeah. How can you bet
I'm not
against
gonna be the guy to tell him no, you're crazy, don't do it. Like I think like okay, it could be. Why not?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, then.
Yeah. Another question. Since like we've been having so much fun here, and I bet it's been so fun to have you on tour. So apart from you, which I probably, if I was one of your peers at the time, I would have said that it was you. But who was the most liked guy in the locker room when you were on tour? When you were a player?
When I was a player, most liked guy.
I would have said you if I was a player.
You could say yourself if you want.
No, when I was
Go
playing,
ahead.
I was too cocky in the locker room. No, I also think like in the locker rooms, the players, they're all so human. They're all so nice. Like everybody says hi to everybody. Everybody shakes hands. Like it's like I don't think there were some guys more liked than the others. The only thing is like. I was spending more time with Flemish-speaking people, like Dutch people, or French because I speak French, or like I had not a great relationship with the Spanish people, South American players, because like we didn't speak the language, you know, like it's. So I guess they're all the same, but like at that point we didn't have so much communication with them. So, but I think everybody was like. Really, really nice with each other. Like, cannot say there were some bad guys in it, huh?
Okay. Is there anybody now that you think is the most liked guy on tour?
Well, I'm not so much in the locker rooms, I have to say. Like as a coach, like I don't go really into that. But I think the young guys, like the young guys on the circuit, they really speak a lot with each other, and they have a good laugh. Like I think today the guys, they can have a really good laugh in the locker rooms, and the day after they play each other, and after the match they have a laugh again. So I think it's like I think it's a really good atmosphere.
More than when you were on tour.
I think it's different. Yeah, I think it's different. But it's also the thing like with the social media. When one guy come into the locker room, he's with the social media. He goes like, "Hey, you're on it again because you broke a racket." Well, I did not have it. Like I was playing cards. We had no phones. We're playing cards with the guys. Like it's different.
Yeah, because when after Casper Ruud got destroyed by Yannick in the last tournament, you see he posted on Instagram, see you next year. Rome. It was lovely. And then he was like, congratulations, Yannick. And then also Fritz, like Taylor Fritz commented, oh, you were so close. You almost had him.
Yeah, you see these things, like I think they were, before we were saying them in the locker rooms. Yeah. Now they just write it down. Like it's, which is okay, huh? Which is okay.
Yeah. That's awesome.
Then, Kristof, we're close to wrapping up, but we want to ask you some rapid fire questions, and you can answer these questions with any one or thing, past or present. All right?
Okay, good.
Best serve.
Of a player, you mean?
Yes, who has the best serve?
Who has the best serve? Kyrgios.
Oh.
Ooh, yes.
Best forehand?
I go with Federer. It's
Yeah, I agree.
somebody agrees. It's good. At least one.
Best backhand?
Leighton Hewitt.
Oh, I disagree.
Ooh.
Yeah, you go.
Best-
No, but like you go with Novak, the backhand.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, you go with Novak. I go with Hewitt because I think he was not making the difference with his backhand, but he's not gonna miss one, and he was outplaying people with his backhand in a different way than Novak. But I guess I understand, but I think
Good point.
that Hewitt made more damage with his backhand on grass on hard court than Novak did.
Okay.
point.
Amazing.
Very
Amazing.
good point.
What about slice backhand? Who has the best slice backhand?
Dimitrov.
Yes.
Ooh. Best volleys?
Pat Rafter.
Yes.
Ooh, nice one.
Old school.
Old school. Best drop shots?
Oh, best drop shots. Wait, who was playing them a lot? Best drop shots. I go with Alcaraz.
Yeah.
Okay.
No? I see some faces going no.
Oh, it has to be. No, it has to be. It has to be him. It has to be him.
Okay.
No, I guess forehand drop shots different than backhand drop shots. Novak.
I say Fed, man. Fed. Roger is unbelievable.
I go with backhand drop shot.
And
Yeah.
I go with Bublik. He's not going to be far away.
Oh.
Ooh, I'm going to go with another name, huh?
Such
Something
a
spicy.
dynamic player.
There's another story here, by the way. There's another story. Something with Zizou.
Yeah, with the drop shots. Great. I saw it.
Yeah.
I saw the TikTok. Great.
Hilarious.
All right. Who's the most talented player?
Talented?
Yeah.
If you want to say Mute, it's okay.
No, I could go with Tomic, but the thing is, like, you want to talk about talent, and he made career out of it because
just
No,
just
pure
pure
talent.
Pure talent.
To me, it's Mute.
pure
to me,
talent.
It's Mute.
Yeah, you need to go with Roger, but like Tomic is not going to be far away, I think.
Curious.
okay.
Curious also, maybe.
Yeah, Kyrgios also, yeah.
What about the most underrated player?
Oof. Oh. That's difficult. Underrated?
Kristof.
No. Overrated. You have the next overrated with me. Underrated player. Well, I don't know if it's underrated, but like if you say a guy like Gael Monfils, is it underrated? No, but
It's to you. It's to you. Whatever you
to you.
believe.
yeah, perhaps a
subjective.
guy like I think a guy like Monfils, like I would have loved to see him win French Open, like something like that, you know, like.
Yeah.
But I think he made also a podcast not that long ago. He said like how many guys were able to beat Nadal, Djokovic, Federer in a row in a slam. Well, he said by himself, I was not good enough. Well, it's
Well, now Bandian did it, but not in a slam, and then you beat him.
on a small court somewhere on the left. Again,
Counts, Chris.
I should have played everybody on small courts. This is my favorite thing. It's far away. I could call to give you the score, man. I just won. I play again tomorrow.
But actually, you know, something so funny. We like right now, we talk about that the best player on the outside courts is Brandon Nakashima. He's the best player on the outside courts.
I'm going to give you another one. Kristof Vliegen. You're going to look at that. He won every match far behind in the garden. Oh my God. Whenever he came close to the big ones, no, that's not good.
Amazing. All right, well, this is going to be close, but most athletic player?
Yeah, Novak.
No.
Yeah, who else? Athletic, yeah. He's still there also, huh? Athletic. He's 20 years, he's there.
Yeah.
Crazy.
It's crazy. It's absolutely crazy.
It's insane.
Yeah.
Tough one. Mentally toughest player?
To play against? Or to play against? Nadal, 100%. No, Novak 99%, Nadal 100. I'm sorry.
Okay, most clutch player.
Ooh.
What do you mean by clutch?
In the big moments will show up and deliver.
Novak,
There we go.
100%. Yeah.
Makes sense. All right, best slam atmosphere.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go with Melbourne.
Nice.
Nice. People love Melbourne. What about your favorite Masters event?
Favorite Masters event in your Wells.
Okay.
Last one. Your favorite match that you ever watched?
That I ever watched?
Yeah.
Finals, Roger, Nadal, Melbourne, when they both came back from injury.
Ooh, 2017.
2017. What an epic final.
That was awesome.
I'm gonna go with that. That's actually that's coming into my mind. And you know why also that I like it? Because Roger won it. I could have said finals, Wimbledon, Roger against Nadal, that he lost it in final. I go, no, I can't, because I cannot see him lose. I'm sorry, Rafa. I cannot. You cannot touch Roger. I'm sorry, you cannot.
So even though you were his peer and you were facing him, still you cannot bear to watch Roger
Oh,
lose.
of course, I know. He needed to win. He needed to win. He's close to perfection. Like when I grow up with him, like everything, like we know each other when we were young or whatever. So like, yeah, it's like when you see him, it's for me it was unbelievable.
Awesome.
Then another last question. Who is your best friend on tour?
Best friend on tour, like player, coach when I was playing.
Yeah, when you're a player, another player, yeah.
Best friend, I'm gonna go with. Well, when I was playing, yeah, but I had a really good relationship. I still have it. Raymond Sluiter, the Dutch coach.
Okay.
And now I'm gonna go. If he hears, it's gonna be great. I'm gonna go with the coach of Halis. It's Olivier Malcor, but it's also a good story because my first match challenger ever was against him. It's like I was 16, 17 years old. I got a wild card in the challenger in Belgium, and I played against him. So he beat me. So sometimes we play paddle together and we talk about it. So yeah.
You're into paddle as well.
Well, sometimes if you have nothing else to do, and physically we are not able to play tennis anymore, and, and we don't want to admit that we're not good anymore at tennis. So we put another sport, and then we feel good. Like, it's all in the head.
Then before you go, Chris, we need to ask you, because you're someone who has made it to the highest level as a player, and also you were coaching some of the best players in the world as a coach. So can you give one piece of advice to aspiring coaches and one piece of advice to aspiring players?
To inspiring, I think players, it's not that difficult. As I said in the beginning, you need to keep on having the joy to do it. You need to have the joy. And actually, if you keep improving your practice, and it's not because you lost the match that you didn't improve. Like when you're a younger player, you're 12 years old, 14, 16, like I know you guys all everybody wants to win, and I get it. And it's normal. That's also the way it should be. But everybody is going to make his own way. He's going to get on his own path. And some people are going to make it after when he's 20 years old, he's 50 in the world. And some guys will get there when he's 25. So everybody has his own way to do it. But keep on having the joy and keep on having the faith in it that you're on the right path. And everybody's going to do it in his own way. And
beautiful.
And for coaches,
yeah.
Well, I think if you have an opinion about the game tennis as a coach, yes, you can adapt to players. You need to listen to them, but I also think you need to stay close to what do you think. What do you think is the best way? Like I'm sure that not every coach is working the same way, but I think also that if you work with a few different players and there are different kind of types on the tennis court, like aggressive, passive, serve and volley or not, like you need to you need to see, or you need to try to see what are the best option for that guy to become the best player at that moment. Like I always try to look at the skills of the player to make them better, or to make the skills that he has. I think you need to develop them as much as you can. And again, like I stay really close by my feeling about the player, how he should play or what to improve. And yes, it's important what the player says, because he has to do it and he has to deliver it. And if he doesn't feel it, well, he doesn't feel it. Then there's a problem. But I think a coach has his own opinion and stay close with it and be confident that you're doing the right thing.
Amazing.
Awesome.
Guys, this wraps up an amazing interview with Chris.
Amazing.
We learned so much today. I think we also had so much fun. This has been one of the most fun interviews ever. Chris, I think we're going to need to have you on again.
Please. You found me, huh? You found me, so I'm not easy to find, huh? You see, huh? Yannick Sinner found me almost. Like,
and
Novak too. Novak
too. He's gonna make
my
the call.
phone is there.
My
phone is just right there.
They're gonna call. They're bound to call. Like I honestly, we skipped like 20 questions because we were having so much fun.
Good.
So like, we definitely need to have you on. And this was
let's see when
a
it's
true
possible.
pleasure.
Good.
Yeah, let's do this again. And this was an absolute blast. And we're all big fans, so we're going to be spamming you. And
your pictures are going up on the walls, by the way.
Yeah.
Coming up.
Next time I'm on, be sure there's some pictures on the wall.
No. Your smashed racket is going to be on the wall.
Great.
Don't worry,
Great. Good. All right, guys.
That was awesome.
Good.
That was awesome.
Thank you
guys.
so much, Chris.
See you next time, huh? See you, guys.
Guys, that was an awesome episode. Go check some of our other interesting videos and subscribe so you can get all your weekly tennis content here.
Have a good night. Good night. Good night. Very good night.